All right, we begin with this. The suspect accused of killing 2 Israeli embassy employees outside of the Capital Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. could face a judge as early as today. Now, this shooting has sparked outrage and concern across the country and around the world. The victims were identified as Yaron Lischinsky and Sarah Milgrim. They just walked out of an event at the museum when shots rang out.
I was walking by, and a guy came up and looked like a gun. I couldn't tell what it was, but I heard it afterwards, the shots, and he shot this young couple. And he ran inside and yelled something. I couldn't make it out what he said. He just ran up. It was terrible.
A grief-stricken witness there. So police and witnesses say the suspect walked into the museum where he was taken into custody. Video shows him here. He's chanting "Free Palestine" while he was being arrested. CBS News Department of Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane, he's close to the scene. Scott, this should be a highly secure area. How could this happen?
There are highly secured areas, and then there are highly secured areas. This is the latter. We are across the street from the FBI's Washington, D.C. field office. You can see the Washington, D.C. police headquarters from certain parts of this block. You're near the U.S. Capitol. You're near the U.S. Justice Department. This is the epicenter of the federal district. So there may have been either an illusion or an expectation of security on these streets last night. According to police, there's been some very incriminating evidence already against the suspected shooter, Elias Rodriguez of Chicago. Not only was he chanting "Free Palestine," they say, after he was taken into custody, they've said he's given some indication he knew where the gun was after the shooting. And according to investigators, he actually fled into the museum after the shooting, then revealed himself after police got onto the scene. There's a court appearance expected today at some point. They have to bring him to court today if they want to continue to hold him in detention, in jail. That could happen in the midday hours here in Washington, D.C. This will be, though, a big federal case, a distinctively high-profile one for the new leadership of the Justice Department.
And adding to the shock, Scott, some of the witnesses were saying on CBS Mornings that they thought he was distraught and actually offered the man water and help as he entered the building before the gunshots rang out. This is now, I understand, due to your reporting, a federal case. So who is in charge of the investigation?
The Washington, D.C. police are leading the investigation. Again, this happened at the doorstep of their headquarters. The FBI is helping them with this investigation, as is protocol, and that was confirmed on social media by the deputy director of the FBI. This will be in the hands of the U.S. attorney here in Washington, D.C. It's a familiar name, Errol. Jeanine Pirro is the new U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. It will be her team leading whatever court hearing happens today. Every expectation is the Department of Justice will seek to hold Rodriguez in pretrial detention. Every indication is the judge will go along with that and accept the request for pretrial detention. Then this moves to the U.S. District Court at some point for a felony prosecution. But there's no indication, Errol. There's a second person believed responsible for this, that there's an accomplice or a second suspect. At this point, everything we're hearing from law enforcement is they have their man.
And we know that Israeli officials have highlighted the victims, this young couple on the verge of the rest of their lives gunned down. Have we heard anything from the White House, from President Trump yet?
Well, let's first of all mention what Israeli Foreign Services says about this couple, Yaron Lischinsky and Sarah Milgrim. They say that Yaron had an engagement ring he was preparing to give Sarah next week during a visit to Jerusalem. They were a couple. They were among 4 people outside the Capital Jewish Museum last night. Those 2 were the ones shot and killed, and those 2 were very much a couple. President Trump weighed in on this overnight, saying this clearly, in his words, clearly is an act of anti-Semitism. We heard one of the city leaders here refer to this as a terror strike. That's a very important word in the legal system. Let's see if that makes its way into any charging documents. It's a whole different level of things when you get into the prosecution and you get into the charging filings in this case. We expect to see those, though, by midday today, Errol.
Yeah, we'll see what happens as that suspect appears in court. Scott MacFarlane on the scene and with the latest for us. Thank you, Scott.